In this video, what I'd like to talk about is when you have a line that's not a continuous line, it is a line segment. So I'd like you to use, when you're talking about, for example, this line here, which starts down here somewhere. In fact, where does that start? Yeah, this is actually a very poorly drawn line. It actually should start at 4. Well, they've actually got it slightly below 4. Yeah, and they go up to this point here, which is also curious. But nonetheless, though, this here, this point here, the nature of the line doesn't matter in terms of where it starts and finishes. But what this is a line segment. So when you're talking about this, you might just talk about this as this is the line segment, and you want to put its domain. Now, this is a word we haven't really talked about that much, if at all, and it's not really in the curriculum, to be honest with you. But if you're going to have a partial line that is a line segment, you want to put in brackets domain, and you want to say what the domain is. Now, domain are just the x values. And you could say from x is 4, and you might have 2, x equals, let's see, x is equal to 10. Now, the thing about that is that this line here is actually the preferred line. That is the line that if you were going to use, what do they call it here? I'm trying to look for it. The undercut. If you're going to undercut the prices, and you were going to use, what's the name of that? I can't see it. Sorry, there was a name of another. Oh, here it is. It's on here. What am I looking at? Pick and mix. Pick and mix line segment is actually going from 4 to 10. Yeah. But you probably want to say is cheaper than all competitors between and not including x equals 4 and x equals 10. In other words, at this point of intersection, it's actually the same price as New Planet. At this point of intersection, it's actually the same price as Countback. So what you want to say is, you could say it like that if you want. The professional way that they would like you to say it, because we haven't, again, really discussed it, is expressing it as an inequality. Now, this is a little bit more involved, but I want to show you, it's very, very simple. What we do is we say the domain such that, I put it in curly brackets, and x, and say x is going to be greater than 4 and less than 10. Now, you could have less than and equals. I don't think they'd penalise you if you said less than or equals, but when it's equal to this point here, it's the same price. You want it to be slightly below that or slightly to the right of that. And you don't want it actually touching that point. You want it just before it touches. And of course, you can't draw it so it's nearly there. But essentially, that's what we're doing here. And if you're expressing this on a number line, the difference is this. If you had a number line, let's say this was in your number line, just for argument's sake, and you had a 4 here, and you had a 10 here, yeah. You're not actually going from 4 to 10. You're going all the way, not including 4, and going all the way up to, and not including 10, but everything else in between. Because at 4, it's actually the same price. At 10, pick and pack is actually the same price. Yeah, we want to make it so it's going to be less than those prices. So it has to going to be greater than 4 and less than 10. And you could say that too. But you do want to say that if you want maximum marks.